Hi guys, it is about 10:30 and I am finally back. I decided to stop humoring myself and pretending like I was gonna put on makeup anytime soon and just get started with some of the filming process because I'm just running out of time. People ask me all the time what it's like to be an author, and it's just like juggling. Like, there's so many things that just pop up during the day that maybe you forgot about or didn't plan for. Like, you might have a bunch of emails you have to answer, and then it kind of eats up your time. It's a challenge that I try to constantly rise to the occasion to tackle in the most productive way possible. So I'm going to talk about what I've read so far. I did finish Son Who Returns by Gary Robinson. This was an awesome story about a Native American youth named Mark who was living with his father in Texas. He has a new stepmom. He just wants to get away, and he realizes one of the ways he can go is to say, hey, can I spend the summer with grandma? Now, his grandma lives on a reservation, and she is his mother's mother. Now, his mother passed away when he was young, so she's like his connection point. Well, he goes to live with her on the reservation, and he really learns a lot about his culture as far as Chumash, and he gets into powwow dancing. It was just incredibly informative and fresh and new, and when I think of diverse reads, this is the type of thing I want to see more of, because I don't see a lot of books that feature a Native American character, let alone immerses you in their culture, which this completely did. And for that reason, it was completely a 5-star story for me. It was really about him, his culture, learning where he came from, and putting meaning to some of the different things. Like, I had no clue that a Native American, when they are dressed in their attire, it's called regalia. I didn't know that. I didn't know about the different kinds of dances you could do at powwows, how the competition works. I came away from this book more knowledgeable, and then feeling like I had really learned something about a culture that I had never even heard of before. I didn't particularly know about the Chumash Indians, which was a smaller branch. So for that reason, if you have time, I would highly recommend picking this read up. I mean, this may be 130 pages and it flies by like that. It's an excellent way to introduce different cultures to teens. This was brilliant. If he had anything else, I would definitely pick it up and see what I would learn from it. So last week was just slow. I decided to do Nano, so there was a lot of prep for that. I'm working on the 7th book in my series, which means I had a lot to go over. This particular character has been in the book since book 1, so it took me quite some time to go through all the books, make sure I had all the information so that everything would fit. And now I'm just transferring it onto poster board so that I can reference it very quickly, and so as I'm writing, I can sort of continue to look at that and make sure that I'm keeping the character in line. I think the more books you write, the harder it is to keep your world on point. So it's super important to go back and, if not reread, like majorly go over the main points in those books, because you do forget, even as an author, especially if you're like me and you're writing multiple series or just multiple standalones. It can get sort of jumbled in your head, especially I think the longer that you write. So it's very important to make sure your world and your characters remain the same, or you have given them an arc that's going to explain why they changed. So I'm just about done with that, and I'll continue to sort of add my thoughts on this and where I'm going. I'm kind of behind on Nano. I'm like literally like 10 words away from 10,000 because I had the most awesome weekend. I actually drove all over the place. I live in Ohio, and I've been everywhere from Wisconsin to Illinois. We threw a surprise birthday party. It was a blast, but now I'm back and I have to make up for lost time. So I'm trying to get down to business. I have not read anything yet because, yeah, life. But I am still continuing with Winter by Marissa Meyer, and I'm really enjoying that. I honestly am almost kind of scared because I have no clue how this book is going to wrap and how it's going to end, which is a sign of an awesome book if you ask me. I am continuing with This Is Just My Face by Gabourey Sidibe, and I'm really enjoying her story, but I think I'm kind of surprised by all of the things that she had gone through in her life. Like, I had no clue. Also, her personality is so much fun, and I don't know if I knew the extent of her awesomeness until now. Hey guys, it is Wednesday around 4 o'clock, and I have been waiting to open this box since it arrived at like 2 when I was heading out the door. I have been waiting to get these special boxes that I had made for this current book release for like a month, and I am so excited to see the finished project. Alright, here we go. Oh my gosh, you guys. They are beautiful. Oh my gosh, they are beautiful. Alright. Can you guys see this? They are amazing. That's the top. The side, I mean, like, even the bottom is rad. Welcome to Cyprus, the name of the town. So you got to see sort of like the wide shot. Now what I'm going to do is hop off of here, and with the magic of editing, put this box together super fast and let you see what it looks like all together. Ta-da! There is the complete box. It is gorgeous. I'm swooning. I'm so excited. This is going to come with a signed copy of my book, Witch for Hire, and a bunch of bookish goodies. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this, and I just can't wait to get this to my readers who have already pre-ordered it. I do have a couple left, and for my readers who are watching, I will put a link below of where you can go to grab some of the last few ones that I have. Yeah, that was pretty much the biggest thing that happened to me today. So this is me working on my newsletter. It's one of those things that you think are going to get better. I find it to be like just as difficult every time, just because you're thinking so hard of like what you want to say and how you want to come across. So for me, it's always sort of difficult, and then I think the hardest part is like the catchy lines and like what my readers actually want, and making sure there's not too much in it. So in some ways I enjoy it, like when I have a clear vision, or like I have a release and I can give snippets and stuff like that. But then like in between releases, it's a little bit more difficult. I don't know if people who get newsletters realize how difficult it is to put together a really nice one, but it kind of is. So this is just my template, and yeah, I'm also still trying to wake up, still drinking on that coffee. It is going to be a super busy day, and I'm so behind on filming this week. I just have not had a lot of motivation. Have you guys ever had a day or like a week like that where you're just dragging? I think those are the hardest times to put out content consistently, but I don't want to fall behind, so I'm really like trying to hang in there and fight the good fight. Hey guys, it's Saturday about 11:30, and I am in the car and on my way to something I do about once a month, where I get together with one of my author friends and we just sort of talk about life and writing and get caught up. And it's something I look forward to every month because it can be a very isolated and solitary career, so it's just so important to have someone that really understands what you're going through. So I'm gonna hop here, get in the car, and drive to meet her at a midway point, and I will check in with you guys in a bit. Bye. Hey guys, so it's been a while. I needed to take a little bit of a break, and I just had so much going on, I just sort of had to focus. So I figured it might be cool if I took you guys along on a journey with me for a signing. I have a signing tomorrow, and right now I'm finalizing making my themed candles that go along with my books. And I'll give you a look at sort of like packing up, and then I'll take you with me tomorrow to the signing, sort of to make up for the time that I've kind of been MIA. But it happens. Occasionally I realize that I'm actually a human being, not a superhero, and you just got to take the time to sort of chill and bug out a little bit and relax. So the candle making is progressing. I'm getting ready to do a new batch. I will fill these up, and then they will have time to solidify to go into my boxes. And I will show you a complete box, which I can finally show you because I finally got the cookies in. I wanted to wait until the last minute so that they would be fresh for the people I was sending the orders out to, and then hopefully the buyers who will buy them tomorrow. So I'm going to get started with the candle making, and I will check back in with you guys in a little bit. So the boxes are mostly packed. You have the 2 teas for the main characters, a pumpkin cookie, which matches the theme once you read the book. She's got a thing for pumpkins, bath bomb, candle tart, book, lip balm, and it is ready. And I am super excited because this was my very first time doing a theme box. So really cool thing is that they have the Christmas tree set.
Wait to get on it.
I know, it's super fun, right? Right?
Okay.
And we already have people here and set up.
Yeah, take your time.
Clearly it's going to be a really fun event. It's my first time doing it at the mall, so it's really neat. And this is the finished result of the table. I am super pleased with how that turned out. And now I'm going to sit and chat with people because that's what happens at signings. Sick. Like so sick, like I could not even make an effort to even look cute. I'm literally in my pajamas and like drinking this tea concoction that I make every time I'm sick, and it usually really helps. It's just honey with a little bit of ginger, cinnamon, and lemon juice. So after the signing, I took some of the boxes that I had and I went to my local half-price bookstore to basically pitch that book for an in-store appearance. Haven't heard back yet, but it's still super early. And then I took it to the library. So the thing about being an indie author is it is hit or miss with bookstores and libraries. Now, one of my local libraries I go to all the time. It's really close to my children's school, and I've been trying to get just a book in the library. I mean, I'm not even talking about have an event, just to be able to go to the library that I go to like multiple times a week and see my book on the shelf. And they just weren't interested at all, and I've always sort of been given the brush off, which happens sometimes with indie authors. I think, one, it does depend on the library, but two, is just to get that recognition, just to get your foot in the door, can be really difficult. Now, when I showed up, not only with the box, but this is my first time being able to say that I am a USA Today bestselling author, suddenly everything was different, and he was delivering this box personally to the person who was in charge of purchasing books for the library, and it was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and it was insane. Now, of course, this person sees a bazillion people a day and doesn't remember me. I definitely remember this person in a way that they treated me. So to see this 160 kind of like blew my mind, one, and two, was such a validating moment, because when you're just pounding the pavement and you're just trying to get that break and get the recognition, it's huge when moments like this happen. So I would be like still riding high. I'm riding high in spirit, but my body, excuse me, is not necessarily willing right now. So that was my big news. And since I was just laid out after Saturday, I got really pretty sick and was just coughing, and it ended up kind of working out because I got to tackle a lot of the books that I didn't think I was going to get to. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and just wrap up. I'm going to let this be my wrap up for November.